Today we're going to talk about the consonant LE syllable. It's important to know that the consonant LE syllable is found at the end of a word. Occasionally there'll be a suffix after it, but basically it's usually going to be the last thing you find at the end of the word. So right now we're going to practice with just base words. There'll be no suffixes. So I can show you the rule on how to mark up these words. So a syllable is a word or a part of a word with one talking vowel. And by talking, I mean you can hear its sound. So every syllable has a vowel sound in it. We use our clover as a visual to help us remember the syllable types. We have C for close, the L is for consonant LE, O means open, the V is for vowel team syllables, E is magic E or silent E, and then our R's are R-controlled syllable. So I have some examples of words and we're going to practice marking them up. So our first word, I'm sure you can read it, but basically this is how I would discover what this word is if I didn't know what it is. The first thing I would do, I'm going to go to my highlighter and I'm going to highlight the vowels and I'm going to mark them with a V. So I know that usually E at the end of a word is going to be a magic E, but today for our syllable types, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count back 3. So, and this is another tip I use. You know, when you do math and you have a number, I'm just going to write any number as an example. So when you have a number, oops, sorry about that, you count back 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is where you put your comma. So it's easier for me to remember. Oh, it's just like math. I count back 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is my consonant LE syllable. And it doesn't really make a typical vowel sound. Like the E isn't completely silent. It actually makes a schwad sound, which a schwa is a weak vowel. So it says toll. So some students want to write like T-U-L or T-O-L, but when you hear a ol at the end of a word, it generally is spelled le with whatever consonant comes before that. So in the case of little, we have toll at the end. So now I look at my first syllable and I see my vowels closed in by a T. And when I have a closed in vowel, I know it's going to be short, or it should be short. So my first syllable says lit, and that's a closed in syllable. My second syllable says toll, and it's a consonant LE syllable. So this word is little. So I'm going to go to the next word. I'm going to do the same thing, but because I see the LE and I know I'm working on consonant LE syllable, I'm going to count back 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to box this just so it's out of the way and I can look at my first syllable. And now I see my first syllable, the I is out in the open. There's nothing closing it in. And when I have an I that's open like that, I know it's going to be long and it needs a macron. So our first syllable is tie, and the second syllable is tull, so we have title. Our next one, I'm going to underline my vowel. So now this is a R-controlled vowel. So I underline both the U and the R. I'm going to count back 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll box this. And now I look at my first syllable. Here's my R-controlled, gets a tilde. I know UR says so I have turtle. Turtle. All right, so now I have some words for us to practice. So you can continue to use the highlighter. You can use the the marker or the pen. You can change colors, whatever works for you. So I'm going to underline my vowel. I'm going to count back 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll box my first syllable. Excuse me, can you see? The A is open, so I'll put macron. And I have staple. One, two, three. My vowel's closed in by the B, so I'll put a brev. So I have bubble. One, two, three. My I is closed in by the end, so it gets a brev, so it's sprinkle. One, two, three. The A's open. Ladle. One, two, three. Oh, I have an AR, which is R controlled, and it says R. It's a tilde, so we have startle. And last but not least, one, two, three. All right, so our first syllable is R controlled. UR says I'm going to put a tilde over it. So we have gurgle. So that's how we practice cutting up words with the consonant LE syllable. And you're going to continue and do some more practice. And hopefully you'll find that it's pretty easy to do.